Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Iconic Repaints. Today I have another video for you. It isn't a Funko Pop custom. Today it's a repaint of the Tamashi Monsterarts Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla 2021. So before I get into the figure and the repaint, my YouTube channel, just a little brief update. So I said earlier in the week that I wanted to get 3 or 4 videos out and uploaded this week. I think this is video number 3. I believe I'll get one more after this even, so all good there. I actually woke up the other day and looked at my YouTube account and saw all the copyright claims for basically each of my videos. It's all because of a little stupid song that I put at the end of all my videos, which I like a lot. But yeah, so I had to go back through each of my videos, and it just took up a lot of time and a big chunk. I'm not even completely done yet, but just trying to find a new sound and figure out exactly how I want to kind of go about it, because I kind of got attached to it. As early and as young as this YouTube channel is, kind of felt like it was my thing, my identity. So back to square one, I guess, in that regard. But yeah, so anyway, the Godzilla 2021 is from Godzilla vs. Kong. I've actually spoke about this in my other video where I did a custom repaint of the Godzilla from this film. It was a Playmates 12-inch tall Godzilla. And in that video, that figure is about a $20 figure, maybe $25, but you don't have the texture on the figure itself to really make the details pop the way you want them. There's only so much you could do with creating an illusion of texture using paint, and there's people that I'm sure are better at it than me. I've only been painting for a year, but this Monsterarts figure, I think you'll see the difference, that this with texture, I think it's easier to kind of get the effect you're looking for. Now, the Monsterarts figures, they retail, I think this one kind of came out around I'm gonna say the $65 retail price, and they only skyrocket in value. I mean, these things, every single one, they just skyrocket. People, I don't know what it is. People don't order them or buy them when they don't pre-order them at the cost that they could get them for. And I understand some people are like kind of like getting into Godzilla later on and they want past figures. That's completely a separate story. But a lot of people, and I've done this before, where like, they'll see the prototype picture and they're like, I don't love it, I'm not in love with it, I'll pass. And then when it comes out and people are showing it off and displaying it, it kind of makes you change your mind a little bit. So then when you want to go get it, at that point, it's already gone up in value a lot. So I got this one, and the first impression was I really wasn't that impressed with it. I got it for, I think, like $65 and like shipped even, which is cheap for the type of things that you're imported highly detailed Godzilla figure. That's a bargain, really. But I opened it up and I didn't love it. It was all within like the paint job. I thought the sculpt was fine. The sculpt was really good. Yeah, it's been a while. I've actually sold off my Monsterarts figures in the past, so it's been a while since I've actually held one in my hand and just kind of feel how like brittle and delicate they are. Like it's gonna just fall apart right there, just by looking at it too hard. This Godzilla, he was darker than I expected. The face was like really, really almost jet black, almost, I feel like. And the thing that it gets mostly criticized for, and I have to agree with this, is the color they use for the mouth and the spines. So he's kind of gotten a moniker from the community where it's like Colgate Godzilla or like Crest Smile Godzilla or something like that. And I totally get where they're coming from. Like, it's just an odd color choice. I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it looks appealing in person at all. And what I was actually just gonna resell it right there on the spot, but I was like, you know what? I have it in hand. I didn't spend an arm and a leg on it. Let me see what I could do with them. So I actually, was talking to people on the Facebook page that I was probably thinking about repainting mine, just to see how it went. And one of my friends on there, a good friend of mine, he actually saw that and was like, you know what, if you paint it, I'm interested in buying it. So it kind of, that's where it kind of came from. It became a commission, so to speak. So I started painting this. It probably took me just like 2 days just to kind of get the details. Everything went smoothly. Everything went the way I wanted it to. And what I realized is, like with the Playmates figure, and a lot of times with a lot of figures, if you're doing a repaint, ideally you want to start off with a clean palette. So it's like you use primer or something like that, or you remove paint and you start from like the base. I didn't do that with this because I liked the fact that there was already texture on like the spines and stuff like that, and I felt like, you know, overlapping that with a different shade of blue will really enhance, you know, the effect. That it's not like just one, you know, one painted on color on his body. Like basically this is, you're trying to create the illusion that this is a power source within this monster, and it's exuding from like, you know, little, I guess like pores and stuff like that in the skin. So I liked the fact a lot that, you know, some of the spines you could still see like, you'll still see like remnants of like that Colgate kind of color, and then you'll see like a lot of the enhanced blue I put on, and I think it really added depth. So I'm happy I went that route. And I changed the color of the eyes. Again, the eyes were also that minty color. So I used a toothpick because these figures are so small. I used a toothpick and just kind of went over it with that same color enhanced blue, and I redid the mouth. I hated the mouth, the Colgate smile. I despise it. So I couldn't wait to get into the mouth. I did look at, we looked at options of maybe like just changing the color of the mouth into the correct blue. I still wasn't really feeling it that much. So I kind of just did a regular mouth with like, you know, normal colored gums, and did the teeth a normal realistic color. You know, did like a little gloss sealant, so it came out really, it looks really wet and realistic. So I love how that came out. And then finally, the last thing I had to do with it was just give him like a slight little dry brush. And when I tell you, this made a difference, it was night and day. The dry brush really made the details pop. And that's when I first realized, hey, the sculpt here is actually pretty good. Because just the figure out of the box, it looked really just overly, it looked too simple, too smooth. The dry brush really brings out the details, the crevices, the depth around the eyes and the snout. So highly recommend if anybody is curious to, you know, experiment on their own, or is thinking about having somebody paint it for them. If you're already on the fence, just do it. Unless you really are worried about reselling it down the line, you know, it's hard to predict what a custom will go for down the line, especially depending on the quality of the custom. But if it's yours and you want to keep it, but you're like, you know what, I think it'll look better with a different paint job, do it. It's really easy to, you know, improve upon it. Even if it's not amazing at first, you could always fix it up. And I'm telling you, even if you just do the dry brush right now, it'll help a lot. So if you have any questions or anything like that, or any concerns, you know, you could feel free to send me a message or write a comment. I'll definitely respond. Or you could, you know, find me on Instagram, iconic_repaints. And yeah, so other than that, that's all I got for you today. And I got a couple more videos for you coming up. I actually have a couple other Monsterarts Godzilla figures coming from clients that they want me to paint up. So eventually those will be thrown up onto the channel. And yeah, so a lot of cool projects coming up. I appreciate your support. Thanks. Peace.